The term gator bait originates from stories tied to the hunting of alligators in the southern United States, particularly in the 19th and early 20th centuries. Alligator hunters needed bait to lure these creatures to the surface of murky swamps and rivers. Tragically, oral histories and documented accounts claim that black infants and toddlers were sometimes used as this bait. This was during a time when black lives were viewed as expendable, their humanity systematically stripped away under the cruel institutions of slavery and white supremacy. The stories describe how black children were forcibly taken from their mothers, often with no regard for their cries or protests. Hunters, it is said, would place these children at the water's edge, sometimes tying them to stakes to keep them in place. The purpose: to use their cries to attract alligators, luring the reptiles out so hunters could kill them for their hides. In many instances, the children were not retrieved alive. Whether by the jaws of the alligator or neglect, their lives were cruelly cut short. For those who were retrieved, the terror of such an ordeal would be unimaginable. Let's make no mistake about it. The cruelty and dehumanizing acts are no myth. This practice underscores the complete disregard for the sanctity of black lives.
So much murder, exploitation, and trauma has occurred under the American flag that we know as Old Glory. Because America doesn't need a show on FX, since the narrative of this country is already an American horror story. The extent of black trauma is not up for debate, because back in the day when white folks tried to capture alligators, they used black babies as the bait. And I know you're listening and thinking, now wait, there's absolutely no way. But let me break down how these white folks would endanger and trivialize black life back in the day. Whether or not we were on plantations, dehumanization has always been a tool for whites in their justification for using black bodies for experimentation, or when they tried to justify our extermination. So please pay close attention to this examination. There are all sorts of racial slurs in the United States, and black folks have many. It's a historical fact that blacks have been called alligator bait and pickaninnies. So when alligator hunters were trying to find bait, they weren't just picking anything. So it's mad crazy that these whites were diabolical and mad shady and actually lured alligators by using black babies, and this is how they would do it. The hunter would put the baby in places that the alligator would be. He'd wait until the gator got close enough to the baby where he could see the gator's head and tail. Then when it got close enough, he'd shoot and kill the gator. Then later, after putting these black babies in danger of being slaughtered, the hunters would give the black mothers just a few dollars.